Freeman, the other sort of wild card in this draft is Ashton Jeanty, the running back from Boise State. He could go anywhere. He could go anywhere from, honestly, if he was drafted 5, I wouldn't be surprised if he was drafted 6 at the Raiders. I wouldn't be surprised where you have him mocked. If he got down to the Bears at 10, I wouldn't be surprised. Clearly, there is sort of a consensus that he is the kind of back who is different. And with what happened with Saquon last year and other running backs, there is obviously an interest in capitalizing on sort of the next trend for the NFL and that he could potentially play a role in that. So a high spot for a running back. Give us your thoughts.
All right. I'm going to say something that is kind of stupid.
Hmm.
Are
Well,
we
dude,
sure?
hold on.
Are we?
You're just teeing me up here, but I'm going to let it pass. I'm going to let the meatball pass.
Are we sure Ashton Jeanty is that good? Like, are
Yeah,
we? Okay.
Simon
I'm
is,
just saying.
this is
I
not
am.
a Travis Hunter situation as far
No.
as Simon is concerned.
I'm just saying he's probably good. He's probably really good, but he didn't test at the combine. He maybe hasn't even had the greatest. All right, I'm going to say something really stupid. I'm just going to say I'm saying this only for the purposes of argumentation. Was what he did this past year any better than what Jay Ajayi did at Boise State his last year? No, I mean, like marginally, but not really. Like he was a 3-star recruit entering college, which means generally speaking, he's better at football than at being an athlete. But like, do you want to take a guy who's like quote unquote just good at football, but not really athletic, number 6 overall? Like, I don't know. Like he didn't play in a power, like a real power program. He wasn't recruited to Alabama, like, or Georgia or anything like that. Yeah, he was good going against teams that weren't all that good, but like, should he get credit for that? Like, I know I know I'm saying something that is ridiculous. I'm just saying you're like running backs don't always work out, especially running backs that go in the top 5. Like, was anyone super pleased with Darren McFadden? Like with the Raiders when he went number 4, like that didn't really work out for them. Like he wasn't a bad player in the NFL and he was a great college player. It's just like there wasn't anything all that special about him. I'm just saying years from now, like we look back 3-5 years and Ashton Jeanty was like okay in the NFL, but wasn't Saquon Barkley, who was a very highly touted recruit and was awesome from day one at Penn State. If we look back and it's like, you know what, he was okay, but not great. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe we should have been, hey, does a 3-star recruit who played at a small school who didn't test at the combine, does that guy normally profile as a great NFL back? No. So I'm just saying, like Ashton Jeanty, I get it. He looks great and he's probably going to be a good NFL player. But I would say the delta between like the odds of him, like the real odds of him becoming an NFL player and everyone's expectations for him in the NFL, like there's some distance between those two things. And this gets to my point. I think Omarion Hampton might end up actually being the better pro. Like this makes me think of the class 2 years ago. Bijan Robinson goes number 8. Jahmyr Gibbs goes number 12. And at the time, everyone thought that was way too high for Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs has had the better career than Bijan Robinson to this point. It makes me think of 2007 when you had Adrian Peterson go number 7 to the Vikings and then Marshawn Lynch go number 12 to the Bills. And as great as Adrian Peterson's career was, Marshawn Lynch's career was almost as good. And so people talking about Jeanty as if he's like the clear number 1 and like a tier, 2 tiers above everyone else in this class, like I don't think so. I think what Hampton did in college and then what Hampton at the combine proved he could do as a guy who's 220 pounds and can run faster than 4.5 seconds with his 40, like, and then what he did in college in a better conference. Like, I'm just saying, Omarion Hampton, I feel like he should be right there with Ashton Jeanty. If Hampton went number 12 to the Cowboys, I mean, I would hate it because I would feel like my Cowboys did something stupid, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went number 20 to the Broncos. That wouldn't surprise me. Like, he's locked into the first round. And if he ended up having a career that was just as good as Ashton Genty's and maybe a little bit better, that wouldn't surprise me either. So
Simon,
Ashton Jeanty is, I think he's great. He deserves to be number one. I'm just saying, like, we shouldn't be quite as sold on him as we are. And then Hampton, I think, is really close. I'd say a half tier below Jeanty.
Simon, Freeman coming on making a statement that might be as ridiculous as his microphone placement. Do you want to educate him in any way with your opinion?
Yeah, I would say go back and watch the film on him, the way he breaks tackles, his running style. The scouts I've talked to, their knock on him will be the height, right? The dude is 5'8". They'll lie about say he's 5'9", but he is 5'8". Is that going to hold up in the league? And that's why, like, I agree with you. If I'm the Raiders, it feels like a dumb pick, right? The Raiders, is there a window right now? Like, is that the lie Pete Carroll selling them that, that they can go get him and he'll have his Marshawn Lynch in that backfield of the Gentry? Maybe that's the thinking of the Raiders, but yeah, that would be, to me, a bad pick for that team. But a team like the Bears, where the coach they just brought in has some of the most beautiful run blocking schemes I've ever seen, and we saw what Detroit did with the running backs. Like, that makes sense to me. The Bears getting him makes sense. Like, he could, really flourish in that system with 4 or 5 years. 10 years, I don't know if he's going to have that type of career because he is so small, but he's giving me Maurice Jones-Drew vibes, like just strong as shit, low to the ground, going to be impossible to take down. And underrated part of his game are his hands. Like, they didn't pass him the ball last year because those stats would have gone against him in his Heisman campaign. Like, basically they just wanted him to get carries. They didn't want him catching the ball in the backfield. I do think that your perspective, though, of him potentially being overrated because of what just happened with Saquon and Derrick Henry, and how all these teams now are kind of chasing that, right? That running back that changes your whole offensive scheme. I kind of agree with what he's saying there, that it does feel like a bit of a reach, but to the Bears, I love the pick. I just would feel like in that offense, it would fit so perfectly, but I get it. Like, it's harder not to take a tackle there, a defensive lineman, if you're the Bears. So it's
Wow.
tough, Chad.
I thought you'd completely destroy Friedman, and I was looking forward to that. So you've
It's a
disappointed me.
reach. He's right, though. 5 or 6, it's a running back. Like, anyone that grades out position value and needs, it's a bad pick. It's like me and you were going crazy about Robinson being taken where he was taken. It's like, we get it, Atlanta. We get what you're doing, but it's a bad pick. You should have taken Jalen Carter. Like, that's the issue here. So that's where I agree with Freeman. It's like, what are we doing here?
The
One
Bears
quick thing
should
I'll
have
say
taken
is
Jalen
that
Carter.
this is a bad class.
You're the best.
I mean, this is not in terms of the running backs. In terms of the running backs, this is a strong class. But overall, Ashton Jeanty is probably a top 3, top 5 player in this class. And that kind of highlights the thinness of this class. You have Travis Hunter, who's being termed generational, and he is, but from a certain perspective. But like, the fact that Travis Hunter is kind of like the number 1 player in this class, and we're not sure exactly how he's going to be used in the NFL, like, that's a sign of the class. And like, I'm a rookie optimist. I love the draft. Like, this is Christmas for me. But just in terms of how years flow into other years, this is a little bit of a down year.
Would you bet Hampton, though, at 18-1? Would you even throw anything on, or is that pointless? Do you think it's automatically going to be Jeanty?
I think it's Jeanty.
Okay.
But I think in terms of how their
I mean,
careers
he is
play
minus
out,
5,000.
yeah. In terms of how their careers play out, I think Hampton will be very close to Jeanty.
Yeah.